Manchester City are closing the gap by the week, and Arsenal are under huge pressure going into tomorrow's North London derby. And I've said this and I'll say it again. This could be the biggest North London derby. And to be honest, it probably is the biggest North London derby for many, many years. Who needs to win more? Is it Tottenham who are in a relegation battle, or is it Arsenal who are in a Premier League title race? But Manchester City have gone out there tonight and put in a performance of champions. In the second half, they were under the cosh. Newcastle were on top. Missionary FC all over City, trying to create havoc. Dan Burn and Haaland, a very, very good battle. You know, and if it wasn't for a very, very good Donnarumma save at the end from a Harvey Barnes volley, we may be talking about a different result. But you saw the leaders from Man City today. You saw Bernardo Silva. You saw Haaland. You saw Diaz, Donnarumma, Rodri. You saw all their big guns fighting, talking, motivating other players. And it was O'Reilly, the left-back, central midfielder, DM, whatever position he seems to play, seems to be playing to a very, very high standard. And all eyes are now on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 4:30. We certainly will be there because I've said this before and I'll say it again. We have something for that lot down the road. Don't you worry about that. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and you let me know your thoughts on City 2, Newcastle 1. The road to 100,000 subscribers is well and truly on, and we're getting very, very close to 89k now. But let's jump into Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 1. That is now 5 wins on the bounce in all competitions for City, beating Newcastle in the League Cup, beating Liverpool away, beating Fulham, beating Salford, and going out there and tonight beating Newcastle United. And I'll be honest, I very, very enjoyed that game. I thought that was a very, very good game of Premier League football. And there's a lot to talk about. Should Bernardo Silva have been sent off? Could Joelinton have been sent off? Could Dan Burn have even been sent off? These were the lineups. You know, Marmoush, no Cherky or Phil Foden in the 11. We'll start with Newcastle United's Pope, Howe, Dan Burn, Malik Chow, and Trippier. Really, I actually thought Newcastle defended relatively well. I mean, there isn't a huge amount you can do about the first strike. Maybe you could criticize Pope for his positioning. And the second goal was a fantastic ball in from Haaland and a really good header from O'Reilly. Tonali in the 6. And, I don't know why Newcastle at times didn't throw the kitchen sink at it towards the second half, but a bit more. You know, taking Gordon off the last 10 minutes when he has, you know, albeit his Premier League form hasn't been anywhere near good enough. And, I'm not going to beat around the bush and say that, but his Champions League form, he's got 10 goals in the Champions League this season in something like 9 games. Ramsey, Voltemade, Willock, and Elanga. We got to speak on Elanga in a minute because he's played something like 35 odd games and only got 1 assist. It's looking like at this moment in time, they overpaid for him, and Nottingham Forest will be very happy with that deal. Donnarumma makes some big saves. Nunez, who at the moment is playing very, very well, considering he's a central midfielder. Diaz hooked at half-time, but he was on a yellow card. Gay here, I thought, had a decent performance. Ain't Nuri did well. You know, shuffled out Elanga, you know, which showed his strength in the second half, made a couple of good blocks, albeit, you know, their goal from Hall did come off a deflection from him. Rodri getting back to his best now. I thought he was very, very good today. I know O'Reilly got man of the match, or they gave man of the match, and they did give man of the match to him on TNT Sports. But I thought Erling Haaland was outstanding for City today. Got the assist for the second goal, was defending his own penalty area like a centre-back. The battles he was having with Dan Burn looked like he was really trying to show his leadership across. When Kuzanov was getting subbed on, he's, you know, patting him on the chest, trying to motivate him. When Kuzanov come into the game, he was actually very, very good. And I didn't actually realise how quick he is. He looks like he'd give Van der Ven a run for his money right now. But the main thing was all about, for City, closing the gap. And they've gone out there and they've done that. Man City have put in a very, very good 3 or 4 games in a row in the Premier League. I'll get into the goals in a minute, but you look at the league table, and City are now 2 points behind. The gap is 2 points. And Arsenal are now under huge pressure for me. They We're going to see what they're made of tomorrow, but that is going to be a hostile atmosphere. Let me tell you that for free. That is a hostile atmosphere. The goal difference is only 1 goal in it. Arsenal might have 5 goals less conceded, but Manchester City, have got 4 goals scored more, and there's only 1 goal in it. And when you look at City's games they have coming up, they've got to play Leeds United, which isn't an easy game by any stretch. Then they have to play Nottingham Forest, West Ham United, and Crystal Palace. Now, if you're a City fan, you couldn't have really hoped for 4 better games in that run-in. You look at Palace are down in the bottom 6, West Ham are in the bottom 3, Forest are 1 place above the bottom 3, and Leeds United, although they got a draw today away against Villa, but they are still in a relegation scrap as well. Like, when you look at their next 4 Premier League games, they're playing 14th, 15th, 17th, and 18th. So, like, for City, you can't really hope for better fixtures coming up. But I actually thought they were very, very good today in the first half. I thought they showed character. I thought they showed mentality. O'Reilly took the first goal very, very well. It's a good ball in from Omar Mamouche. I thought he was going to play Haaland. Haaland's making that run down there, almost like an overlapping run, but he shoots early and it catches Nick Pope off guard. And it's a very, very, very good finish from him. Riley this season, like, you can play this guy anywhere, play absolutely anywhere. He can play left back, central midfield, defensive midfield. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists in 21 starts in the Premier League. Got a goal against Fulham in the last Premier League game he played. 2 goals today. Got an assist against Bodo Glimt as well. Does starting to look like he could be a regular starter for City going forward. He's so valuable to that Man City team due to his versatility. And you got to remember, this guy is only 20 years of age. Takes the goal really, really well. Newcastle, fair play to them. 8 minutes later, they bounce back. And I'm such a big fan of Howe. I don't think he's the best left back in the league like some Newcastle fans think he is. But I do think he has to be on that plane for England in the summer, because for me, like, him and Lewis Skelly are probably the starting left back, or O'Reilly. O'Reilly probably starts, but he can easily play in midfield as well. So I'll probably start O'Reilly, but Hall can quite easily come in if you want to move Riley further forward. He gets the shot, he gets the deflection off Aït-Nouri, wrong foot's Donnarumma, and then it's in the back of the net. But like all big teams do, they bounce back 5 minutes later. It's a ball in from the right-hand side. Haaland kind of hangs it up, and O'Reilly finishes it like prime Harry Kane, a header down into the back of the net. And it's a very, very, very good finish from him. And you know what? One thing I will say is Man City should be proud of their defensive efforts today, because when you look at the momentum in the second half, when you look at how even that game was, albeit the possession's very, very high, but there was only 2 shots in it. And Man City have shown in the last couple of weeks that they are, the last season, really, they will concede chances. This is a momentum chart. Look, obviously the 3 goals inside the opening 28 minutes. There's a big dip there for Newcastle. City finished the half strong. Newcastle start strong. A lot of City, bit of Newcastle. And when you look at the match stats on the right-hand side, yes, they dominated possession. Yes, XG will be a lot higher. But, 7 shots on target for both teams. I think Newcastle United, bearing in mind they played midweek, a big, big trip to Baku, 5,000 miles there and back. I think they should be somewhat proud of their performance. They didn't get the win, but they certainly held a good account of themselves. And Newcastle United, they're battling for European football. They've got some interesting games coming their way. They've got Everton in the league next. Then they've got Man City again. I can't actually believe they're going to play Man City 5 times this season. Twice in the League Cup, FA Cup, and home and away in the Premier League. And you look at the games they've got coming their way. Look, they're already past Qarabag. So they're in the next round of the Champions League. That Sunderland game is going to be absolutely unbelievable. And I can't wait for that. But the next 2-3 games, they're actually all at St. James's Park. Now, Everton have got a very good away record, but I do expect Newcastle to win that game. Then they play Man United. Now, if they were to hypothetically beat Everton, you're looking at the Premier League table. I mean, it's so close right now. There's only 4 points between Newcastle and Brentford, which is between 10th and 7th. Like, at the moment, anyone is capable of beating anyone. Like, look between 7th and there's only 6 points between 7th and 13th. And if Fulham win tomorrow, they close the gap to 3 points on Brentford. Equally, if Sunderland win tomorrow, who are in 11th, they would go up to 8th. Like, it's so close in the Premier League right now. But all eyes are on tomorrow on the Arsenal Tottenham North London derby. I cannot wait for this. I think we will get something against them and turn our fortunes, because the run of games that we have got coming up, the North London derby, Fulham away, Palace at home, Liverpool away, Forest at home, Sunderland away, and Brighton. And bearing in mind, Brighton won today. It's going to be a huge game tomorrow. But make sure you go down, drop a like. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you soon. I'm out.